It's not dangerous, Father. I'm always stuck in here by myself. Why can't I go out and make friends just like everybody else?
Because you are not like everyone else. You are my son.
Miraculous Ladybug fans are still reeling from the finale of Season 5 and the numerous ways it will impact the series moving forward. One of the most significant plot twists from the finale is Gabriel's sudden death, as he trades his life for a single wish granted by Gimmi. Many believe that Gabriel died helping Ladybug defeat Monarch, cementing his legacy to the people of Paris. However, his death is the most impactful to Adrien, as Gabriel influenced and managed almost every aspect of his son's life. Now that Gabriel has passed away, Adrien will experience many lifestyle changes. In today's video, we will discuss these changes and how they'll impact Adrien's character in the next season.
Adrien, please reconsider. You know what your father wants.
But this is what I want to do.
Number 1. Personal freedom. Throughout the series, Adrien has experienced limited freedom in every part of his life. In the episode Wishmaker, he claims that when growing up, he only wanted to be what his parents desired. The statement foreshadowed his origins as a sentimonster, as his parents, especially Gabriel, had total control of Adrien's life, from his friendships to his career choices. Adrien spent years as a prominent model and celebrity, acting as the face of the Gabriel brand. His career as a model isn't something he enjoys, and he inevitably asks his father to release him from the job, leading to the development of the Alliance rings and their artificial intelligence, which includes Adrien's likeness. Adrien has never had complete autonomy over his life, but that changes during the epilogue of Recreation, when Marinette gives Adrien his parents' wedding rings, which contain his amok. With total freedom over his thoughts, feelings, and actions, Adrien can now do anything he wishes during Season 6. For the first time in his life, he can choose his friends, relationships, and career choices without the overbearing control provided by Gabriel. The newfound freedom will likely create many changes for Adrien, starting with discovering his passions. Many of Adrien's friends already have aspirations and hobbies that motivate them. Marinette wants to be a fashion designer, Alia a reporter, and Luca a stringed instrument maker. However, Adrien has no idea what he wants to do with his life, and the next season will likely follow his new journey of self-discovery as he finds new hobbies and interests. From recent information about the next season, one of these new hobbies will include running, which may replace Adrien's former fencing, Chinese, and piano lessons.
That I'd be content to do what my father told me to. Like you, Luca, who decided to be a musician like your father.
Number 2. Stronger friendships. Social interaction is an important factor in childhood development, but Adrien had a severe lack of it as he was growing up. As a sheltered child who grew up in the higher class of Parisian society, Adrien only interacted with children from similar upbringings. Due to their parents' history, his childhood friends included Chloe and Felix, his cousin. As a teenager, Gabriel only approves of Adrien's friendship with Kagami because he wants the pair to become the perfect couple. Gabriel's control over Adrien's friendships makes it nearly impossible for him to create meaningful bonds with others. Adrien has to run away from home to attend Collège François Dupont, and Natalie needs to speak on his behalf to ensure he can attend public school and make friends as he desires. Throughout the series, there are numerous moments when Adrien behaves awkwardly and misses social cues, a side effect of his sheltered upbringing. Unfortunately, when Adrien does begin making friends, Gabriel does whatever he can to intercept them, including preventing Adrien from inviting friends to their home, attending social events, and having birthday parties. While Gabriel becomes more lenient in the later seasons, he still disapproves of Adrien's relationships, especially his romantic interest in Marinette. However, this control alleviates in the finale of Season 5, as shown when his classmates attend a pool party at the Agreste home, indicating that he'll have more time with his friends in the future.
Have some friends over and live it up a little. You know my father has very high expectations of me. I can't go behind his back like that.
Number 3. Family connections. While Adrien does have family members with whom he interacts, his primary connection is to his parents, with whom he lived and traveled. We learn that he grew up with his cousin and spent considerable time with him in the episode Felix, but the pair fell apart after losing one of their parents. Emily and Amelie were very close and wanted to raise their children together, which is why Adrien and Felix were close in the past. However, Gabriel doesn't try to maintain their connection and goes out of his way to avoid Amelie, rarely visiting her or inviting her to social events. While Adrien doesn't have many opportunities to interact with his aunt, he does spend considerable time with Felix, who spends countless episodes investigating Gabriel's ownership of the Butterfly Miraculous. The pair overcomes their differences throughout the 5th season, as Felix uses the Peacock Miraculous to help the heroes and protect Kagami. Now that he's a member of the French superhero team, he'll likely spend more time with Adrien in the next season by restoring their familiar bond and interactions as Argos and Cat Noir. Felix and Amelie will undoubtedly become recurring people in Adrien's life now that Gabriel isn't there to stop them. It's also possible that Adrien has other family members that he hasn't seen in years, especially on the Graham de Vanelli side. It's rumored that Adrien's grandparents will debut in the 6th season. According to information provided by Felix and Representation, their grandparents are high-status individuals who value their reputation and their family's legacy, meaning they may have strong opinions about Adrien and his lifestyle.
No apology can ever be enough. I just hope I can learn from this and come back to see you as a better person someday.
Number 4. New Guardianship. Currently, it's unknown what Gabriel's wish was at the end of Recreation. Some people believe that he traded his life to cure Natalie of her magical illness, while others believe he traded his life so that Emily could return and raise their son. Regardless of which, Adrien will have a new guardian during the 6th season, which will impact his life significantly. While Adrien tried to connect with his father throughout the series, their relationship became more strained when Gabriel became more controlling until he ultimately locked Adrien away at the end of the 5th season completely, encroaching on his son's freedom. Now that Gabriel has died, Adrien will receive new guardianship, which will have different rules and regulations for Adrien. There are many options for Adrien, but his new primary caregiver had to be family, as he remains in his family's home after his father's death. Amelie would make a proper choice as next of kin, but Gabriel may have made Natalie Adrien's godmother, allowing her guardianship over Adrien if anything happened to him. He may also be approached by his grandparents, who may want to step in to raise their orphan grandson. There's also the possibility that Emily is alive and has resumed caring for her son, which will lead to the pair needing time to catch up for lost time and her needing to explain her absence.
Or when you wanted to give me another Miraculous. It was awful having to hide Cat Noir from you. I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Number 5. Cat Noir's presence. Adrien took to his second life as Cat Noir because it gave him the freedom he didn't have during the day. As Cat Noir, he can make choices for himself and have a social life without his father's watchful eye. Unlike Marinette, he jumped to become a superhero and help others, despite his father's controlling nature. Adrien did his best to help stop akumatized villains and make it to their nightly patrols. Unfortunately, it becomes harder for him to keep up with his responsibilities when Gabriel becomes more controlling and watchful. In Ephemeral, he misses stopping the villain Mulak because he has to speak to reporters, which requires Ladybug to depend on the rest of the French superhero team to take down a single villain. Now that Gabriel isn't around to watch Adrien's every move or become more controlling over his son's life, Adrien can transform into Cat Noir without worrying about his parent finding out. He should be able to take on more patrols, stop more villains, and play an active role in the team. Now that Ladybug has nearly 24 heroes to manage, she may learn to depend on Cat Noir as her second in command, allowing him to act as team leader whenever she's preoccupied. In doing so, Cat Noir will gain more knowledge, trust, and involvement than he had.
14 messages? She must be furious.
Finally!
I know what you're about to say, Ladybug,
Never
but...
mind.
There's no denying Gabriel's extensive control over his son's life, impacting every aspect of his childhood and development. Now that he will no longer be Adrien's primary guardian, many things will change drastically as he has newly gained freedom, a different primary caregiver, and opportunities. Now that Adrien is starting a new chapter of his life, these new changes will become a primary part of his story moving forward and will shape his future.
I can't fight the Celestial Guardian, and I don't want to take the risk of losing our Cat Noir.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Closet. See? It's really me.